This is a review of Chapter 4 of The 10th Insight by James Redfield. This chapter is titled Remembering. 10th Insight information knowledge scattered about this chapter. The 10th Insight is a greater understanding of the spiritual renaissance happening on this planet, an understanding attained by grasping our relationship to the afterlife dimension. The insight has something to do with clarifying the nature of intuitions, of maintaining them in our minds, of seeing our synchronistic path in a fuller way. When we have an intuition or a dream to pursue a particular course in our lives, and we follow this guidance, certain events transpire that feel like magic coincidences. We feel more alive and excited. The events seem destined as though they were supposed to happen. When we have an intuition, a mental image of a possible future, we're actually getting flashes of memory of our birth vision, what we wanted to be doing with our lives at that particular point on our journey. It may not be exact because people have free will, but when something happens that is close to our original vision, we feel inspired because we recognize that we are on a path of destiny that we intended all along. Other insights that were referenced in this chapter are the 9th insight. As spiritual renaissance progresses, it must overcome a polarization of fear. The 7th insight was referenced. Interpret dreams by superimposing the plot of the dream against the real situation facing us in life. The 6th insight. You are the sum of your parents' worldview and destinies. Mysterious tips. Page 71 is an excellent recap in the synchronicity of events that took place in the book thus far, interconnecting them all together. The main character's ankle wasn't feeling that bad, and he wondered if Maya's thought therapy worked from the previous chapter, but he realized he would never know for sure. The act of remembering your dreams can increase your energy. Maintaining your intuitions. Humans are moving into alignment with this other dimension. Life review. We have to understand the fear in order to do something about it. Remembering is the key to overcoming the fear. Will somehow pulls the main character into another realm, the dream realm. The main character describes meeting Joel, and Will says Joel was voicing the fear. Main character describes meeting Maya, and Will says, perhaps her idea of healing holds the key to dealing with the fear. Tracking the hum. The hum is mentioned again, and I think in the next chapter we learn what the hum actually is. Soul groups. A group of souls with whom you resonate closely. Everyone has their own soul group. They share our birth visions, follow us through life, and afterwards stay with us while we review what happened. They act as a reservoir for our memories, maintaining the knowledge of who we are as we evolve. When we are in the afterlife and one of them is born into the physical dimension, we act in the same capacity toward them and become part of the soul group that supports them. The soul groups send us extra energy and uplift us in a particular manner. They help us more readily remember what we already knew. When we dream, we reunite with our soul group, and that jogs our memory of what we really wanted to do in our current life situation. We get glimpses of our original intention. And then when we return to the physical, we retain that memory, although it is sometimes expressed in archetypal symbols. Birth vision, life reviews, life reflection. Understand the purpose of your life, your past lives, the direction you're heading, the mistakes you previously made, your intention. Contemplate your current life. The events in your life shape you for your life mission. Every person in your life has a reason. Your birth vision is your purpose for this dimension. Birth vision is the best case ideal scenario of what your highest self intends to happen in life. What actually occurs is an approximation of the vision. I don't know if you've all seen my Question Reality episode 5, Choosing Our Lives in the Afterlife Dimension, but when I read 10th Insight, I was like, holy cow, this is so close to exactly what I remember. The other thing also is that last line, the birth vision is the best case ideal scenario of what your highest self intends to happen in life. What actually happens is an approximation. I used to give this example before I read this. I used to say, well, if you think of the video game Super Mario Brothers as your life and completing the game is your destiny, it's up to you whether or not you complete the game. You might stop at World 5-3. You might use the tunnel to warp all the way to 8-1. Or you may actually complete the whole game, defeat King Koopa, and save the princess. The destiny was already set. It's up to you whether or not you fulfill it. Same with your birth vision. The patient's responsibility in healing. Your thoughts affect the healing process. And this was just touching on Maya's, the stuff from chapter 3, her healing process, where your thoughts affect the healing. So that wraps up chapter 4. It takes about 35 minutes to read these chapters, and I'm condensing just the highlights into a little over 5 minutes. These are just the review. These are the highlights. Hopefully you're reading the book on your own, and this is just to accompany it. Because I'm leaving a lot of the plot out. I'm not concerned with the plot. I'm concerned with the concepts. I'm always concerned with concepts, and I try to bring those to the forefront because most people get caught up in the storyline. I want you to focus on the concepts. I hope you've enjoyed these concepts in this review of Chapter 4, and I'll see you in Chapter 5.